Today we're going to learn how to find the slope of a graph.
Today we're going to find the slope of a line given two order pairs.
Oh, and Caleb told you we're going to find the slope of a line. Okay? Well, in order for you to find the slope, you've got to know what slope is. Slope is the steepness of a line. Okay? How steep it is. So you see this line going upward, if you were walking up it, is steep. Whereas this one isn't as steep, is it? Okay? Also, you got to know whether the slope is positive or negative. A line that goes up like this has a positive slope. However, a line that goes down like this has a negative slope. Okay? Now, slope is always described as a ratio. A ratio is just a fraction. So 4/3, that could be a slope. Okay? 1/2, that could be a slope. Now the top number is the change in x, and the bottom number is the change in y. Okay? Now in math, the way that we signal change is we use a triangle. This is called delta. Okay? So delta x over delta y means the change in x over the change in y. That's your slope. Okay, now we use the signal or the sign delta instead of writing change because it's faster. Now, the common phrase you'll hear from me today, instead of changing x over changing y, is rise over run. Rise over run. Rise goes up and down. And which way do you run? You either run left or right. Okay? So your rise is going to be how far up or down you travel, and your run is going to be how far left or right you travel. And that'll make more sense in a second. Positive or negative, zero or undefined is what I call the function car. Now, the function car is on the road here, but if the function car let its brakes off, it would not roll at all, would it? Since it doesn't roll at all, what's the slope on this flat spot?
Zero.
Zero. Okay? But now as it has to begin to go up the hill, what's the slope on something that's going upward?
Positive.
Positive. So anything going upward has positive slope. Alright, now as it turns the corner and begins to go downward, any kind of hill that goes downward has what kind of slope?
Negative.
Negative slope. Now it's going to get back on this flat portion. This flat portion has what slope?
Zero.
Zero slope. Okay? Now, unless it's the Batmobile, it can't go up this straight wall, can it?
No.
So a straight wall up and down that the function car can't even drive on is called what? Undefined slope. In other words, we can't even give a definition to it. It doesn't exist. The slope for this wall does not exist. It's undefined. Okay, I can't even call it like it doesn't have any definition. So to review, if it's flat, the slope is
Zero.
if it's going upward, the slope is
Positive.
if it's going downward, the slope is
Negative.
again, flat is
Zero.
straight up and down is
Undefined slope.
undefined slope. This line A, you see right here, it labeled it A. What kind of slope would this line have?
Positive.
Positive, because it's going upward. What would B have?
Negative.
Negative. What would C have right here?
Positive.
Positive. It's not going up very fast, but it's going up, isn't it? What would D right here have?
Negative.
Positive. You don't see how it's going upward?
Yeah,
If I put a car on here, I'd have to drive up it, wouldn't I?
yeah.
Right here, what's E have?
Negative.
Negative, because it would go down. What about F right here? What's this?
Zero.
Zero. It's zero slope because it's completely flat. So you find the slope of the line that contains each pair of points. In order for us to find the slope of the line, first we have to draw the line. In order for us to find the slope of a line, we first have to draw the... Okay, so this is 3, 9. That means we go right 3 and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now some of you are, if you don't know how to plot points on a coordinate plane, you're going to have trouble with this today. The next one is 2, 4. That means I go right 2 and up 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my point. Now, in order for me to get the slope, I have to draw my line, extend it on forever, just like this. Now, that's our line. I had 2 points, I connected them and created a line. Now I have to find the slope, okay? Remember what I told you slope was? The what over the what? The rise over the run. Okay, so now you just have to find what the rise is and put it on top, and find what the run is and put it on bottom. So start right here and say, how many do I rise? I rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what was my rise? 5. And then how many to the right do I have to go? 1. So what's my run? 1. So my rise was what?
5.
And my run is?
1.
So my slope is?
5 over 1.
5 over 1. Remember, you have to express slope as a ratio. And what's a ratio?
A fraction.
A fraction. So we expressed our slope as a ratio, a fraction. Okay? So let's look at the next one. The next one says, find the slope of the line that contains each pair of points. So we got to write these 2 points on the graph. 1, 0 means I go right 1 and stay put. The point negative 3, 1 says I go left 1, 2, 3 and up 1. Now what do I have to do?
Red line.
I have to create a line. Okay? So I'm going to create a line going in both directions on forever and ever. Now, in order for me to find the slope, I have to find the what over the what?
The rise
The
over the run.
rise over the run.
The rise over the run. Okay? Now, the rise is how much up or down I go. So starting here, how far do I go up? 1. Okay, and I put that over the run. Now, which direction am I having to go for the run?
Put the left.
To the left. Since I'm going left, 1, 2, 3, 4.
That'd be next.
Yeah, since I went left, it's negative 4. So what's my slope?
1
1
over
over
negative
negative
4.
4.
1 over negative 4. It's expressed as a ratio, and the ratio is just a what? A fraction. Okay? So our slope of this line, our steepness, is 1 over negative 4. Alright, here's another example. I've got 2 points, and it tells me to find the slope. The first step when they give me 2 points is to do what? No, I can't find rise over run of nothing. What do? The first step when they give me 2 points. Yeah, I got to plot the 2 points. The first one is 8, negative 6. So I go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is my first point, 8, negative 6. Now I got to plot my second one, 8, 4. So I go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now before I can find the slope, I got to draw the line that's contained. Now, we drew our 2 points from right here. Okay? Now, you see the green line that's contained by the 2 points? What kind of line is that? Let me draw it a little clearer. What kind of line is that?
Undefined slope.
That's right. It's straight up and down. And we just learned before, a straight up and down line creates a what kind of slope?
Undefined slope.
Undefined slope. So on this problem, our slope is
Undefined.
undefined. We have an undefined slope. In other words, I can't find the slope because it's straight up and down. Alright, the instructions say find the slope of the line that contains each pair of points. So I've got the point 1, 6 and 2, 6. What do I have to do with them? Plot them on the coordinate plane. This right here is the coordinate plane. So I go over 1 and up how many?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I go over 2 and up how many?
6.
6. Now, if you connect those 2 dots, what kind of line are you going to have? You're going to have a flat line. And what's the slope of a flat line like that?
0.
0. So the slope of these two points right here, the slope equals what?
0.
It equals 0. Alright, this is our last example. We've got 2 points. We have to do what with the 2 points? Plot them. The instructions say find the slope. So for us to find the slope, we've got to plot the points, connect them to make a line. I got negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I've got -3, -1, 2, 3, and +7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, before I can find the slope, what do I have to do?
Put a line.
I have to connect them. Okay, and show lines extending on forever, right? Just like that. Now, what's another way of saying slope? Rise over run. So the way we're going to find our slope is to find how much we're rising and how much we're running. So let's count how much we're rising. We go up 1, up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what was our rise?
12.
12. And what's our run?
1.
Yeah, we just travel over 1. So what's our slope of this line?
12.
12 over 1. Okay, so today, alright, so today we're in day 2 of slope. Alright, and up to this point, given 2 points like this, the only way we could find the slope was to graph and do rise over run. But now today we're going to learn a way to use an equation to find the slope. Okay? Now the equation for slope is m equals, what's m stand for?
Slope.
Slope. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's your equation for the slope that we're going to use today. Alright, let's write it again. The equation for slope is m equals, and m stands for slope. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, now the question is, which one of those is x and which is y1 and which is y2, etc. Okay, now if you look up at the top, this ordered pair, the first number in an ordered pair always stands for x, and the second one always stands for y. This is a separate ordered pair, this is x, and this is y. Okay, so all you have to do is label them. This x is the first x, is it not? And that's the second one. So this is x1. And this x is x2 because it's the second one. This y right here is y1 because it's the first y. And this is y2 because it's the second one. So now what is x1? 7. So right here where it says x1 we would put what?
7.
And where it says x2 we would put what? 11. And where it says y1 we would put -3. And where it says y2 we would put -4. So let's try that. The formula says this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. Okay, the formula says y2, which is -4, minus y1. Now remember I told you, if you have a negative and a minus in a row, you got to put the second number in parentheses. Over x2, 11, minus x1, which is 7. Okay, now all you have to do is evaluate that and it'll give you the slope. -4 minus -3. Leave, change, opposite. -4 plus 3 is -1 over 11 minus 7 is 4. So now we just learned a new way to find the slope using the slope formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Alright, here's a second example. Remember, here's our slope formula. This is x1 and this is y1. This is x2 and this is y2. Okay? The reason this is x1 is because it's the first x, and the reason this is x2 is because it's the second x. Now all you have to do is substitute them into this formula. y2 is 6 minus y1 is 7 over x2 is -10 minus -15, which is what x1. Now the reason I put this second one in parentheses is because I had a minus and a negative. Okay? Now, 6 minus 7 is -1 over. Since I have a minus sign, I'm going to leave, change, opposite. -10 plus 15 is 5. So my slope for these 2 points is -1 over 5. Today we learned how to find the slope of a line, or we've learned how to find the slope of 2 points by drawing the line. Okay? So today we learned how to evaluate the slope.